back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a procrastinator's guide to the simplified 12-week year. And I want to really acknowledge something before we get into the topic. A lot of times we feel like procrastination is linked to laziness or like you just don't want to do anything, but that is not necessarily always the case. A lot of times procrastination can be linked to overwhelm, overstimulation, and many other factors. So definitely try to take stock of your life, of your environment, and say, okay, what in my life is making me feel so overwhelmed that I can't get things done and I can't be as productive as I would like to be. Having that really honest moment with yourself, taking a step back and assessing where you're at in life will be super helpful with helping you to combat your procrastination and be successful with your 12-week year, because you deserve to set goals and achieve them just like everybody else. So what I love about the simplified 12-week year is that it's literally a foolproof plan. All you have to do is set up your goals and actually be consistent with them. I know consistency is the harder piece, but when you think about being consistent, I want you to try to link it to something that's valuable for you. What's the reason that you want to do this? So if you set a health goal, okay, you set a health goal. How is that going to benefit you in your life? What positive impact is that going to make on your lifestyle overall, on your health, on your happiness, and everything in between? And once you see how valuable setting that health goal can be, you will see why it's so important to be consistent with it, because you are literally transforming your life in 12 weeks. So step one in the procrastinator's guide to getting more done in 12 weeks than you do in 12 months is setting clear goals. A lot of times we set goals. We're like, okay, this is what I want to do, but there's no clarity and there's no reason linked to them. Sometimes we just set these goals because we feel like it's what we're supposed to do. We should want to be healthy. We should want to read books. We should want to keep a clean, organized space. But don't think of things as like, I should want this or I should be doing this. Think of them in the fact of, I want to do this because. You really have to fill in those blanks and paint this clear picture for yourself and this vision of your life. Like, what is this going to change for me? What impact is this going to make? When you value something and you think it's important, it's so much easier to actually stick to it and to have that clarity in mind. So when you are setting your goals, really think about your life overall. What do I want? What is my dream life and how am I going to get it? That's the first goal that you set, and then you work toward achieving it. The second thing that you're going to have to do, especially if you struggle with procrastination, is break that goal down. A lot of times the reason we don't get stuff done is because it seems like it's too much trouble. It seems like too much work. You're overwhelmed, you don't know where to begin, and then at that point you definitely can't get to the finish line. So if you say, okay, here is my large overall goal. So for example, for myself, I typically don't feel overwhelmed, but there was something about moving that has just been really, really difficult for me this time around. And my friend was like, you know, moving is actually a trauma. And I'm like, yeah. Traumatic experience for sure. But what has helped is really breaking it down. So my overall goal is to get the house done, get everything set up. But breaking it down room by room, item by item has been a lot more effective for me. So I don't feel so overwhelmed with the process where I just get nothing done. So I can say, okay, you know what? Right now I have most of the things that I need to finish, at least the primary bedroom. So let me go ahead and get that part set up. And just having that piece done, even though there's so much more to do, really helped me feel a lot more settled and helped me have more clarity and just room to breathe in my mind, so I could figure out what I wanted to do for the rest of the house without feeling rushed or pressured. And it really took that overwhelming piece away. So when you think about your big goal, definitely break it down. Create a step-by-step plan, which is like a roadmap for you to be able to follow to achieve your larger goal without it being something that's going to overwhelm you in the long run. Step 3 is you have to stay accountable. Honestly, as a life coach, that is one of the major things that I work with my clients on, is just being their accountability partner, being their cheerleader, and being their support system, because a lot of times that's all that people need. It can be really easy to just say, oh, I'm not going to do it, because you feel like no one cares, no one's checking in on me, and you just let it go. Now that ties back to the beginning of what I was saying about how important your goals have to be for yourself and the value that you feel it's going to add to your life, because regardless of if there's anyone else cheering for you, you need to be cheering for yourself and celebrating your progress. However, let's be honest, it's so much easier when you have people in the crowd. It's kind of like sports games. They always try to fill the stadium, like when the team is not great, which happens kind of often here in Houston. Tickets will be super cheap, or they'll be doing giveaways or like free hot dogs and stuff to try to get people in the building, because that motivates the players. It gets them really excited. It brings the vibes up and it helps them to keep pushing harder. And that's the same way it works for everyone else. We are wired to think like, wow, if I have people who are counting on me, people who are supporting me, then I need to get this done. And that's exactly how it is with procrastination. When you have that support system and those people holding you accountable, it's a lot easier, because now you're thinking, let's say, for example, you're a client that I'm working with and we set up a goal for you to do professional development or continuing education. If I'm checking in with you saying, okay, how was the course? Did you sign up? What did you learn this week? You know, like, okay, when I get to that check-in with Amber, I'm gonna have to have something to say. And so again, it pushes you to get it done, but eventually it becomes intrinsic motivation to where you want this for yourself and you're going to do this for yourself regardless of what I am telling you is important for you. You're gonna say, yeah, this is important. But community is a huge aspect to getting that intrinsic motivation. So don't be shy about it. Find people that you can trust, share your goals with them, and set up times to regularly check in. Something that I did with my friend, I can't remember if we did it at the end of last year or beginning of this year, she hosted a vision boarding party. It was so much fun and also so great because I know now what all of us are working on for the year, what our goals are, what we want to achieve, so we can check in with each other, we can continue to motivate each other, and also when we hit those goals, we can support and cheer for each other. And it's just such a beautiful time to be able to celebrate all of our wins. We usually like get together every few months, have like a dinner or do some type of activity and just catch up on life. And it's so great to see how everyone has been working toward their goals. So especially if you are trying out the simplified 12-week year format, definitely go back and check out my playlist on this video so you can see my full breakdown, my trackers, how to use them, and all of those things. But honestly, what I wanted to focus on in this video is how to get your mindset to a place that's going to help you be successful throughout your simplified 12-week year, that's going to motivate you to even want to start your 12-week year and to have it be something that you can keep consistently as a goal-setting ritual that will help you benefit your life. And step 4, which I think is the hardest one, which is funny because a lot of times, again, with procrastination, we often think like, oh, well, people who procrastinate don't care, they don't want to get anything done. Yet, in reality, procrastination can be linked to perfectionism. They often go hand in hand. So for step 4, it is really important to embrace imperfection and let that be okay. Life happens. Things are going to get in your way. There are going to be obstacles, challenges, roadblocks, things that make you stumble. However, you cannot let that deter you from where you want to be. Get back up, continue moving forward, readjust as needed, and work toward your goals. There's always going to be something, but if you're labeling it as a mistake or as like this terrible setback in your life, then again, you're going to go back into procrastinating because you're like, if I can't do this perfectly and not everything is working out exactly the way that I want it to, then I'm not going to do it at all. But that is not helping you. You have to realize that even taking a small step toward progress is going to benefit you in the long run. Like eventually it's going to get done. Even like with setting up my home as an example again, like my office, I really felt like was the most overwhelming piece because I work from home. I also create content from home and I needed this space to be complete and feel like a representation of what I wanted. I was also going a different direction than I'd typically gone in the past. So it felt like a lot and I wanted it to be perfect. But once I let go of that and I said, you know what? Let me just pick a paint color for the cabinets. Let me just pick a wallpaper for the backdrop. Let me go look through my old frames and see what I want to put up on the walls. Slowly, I was able to just start one thing, do the next thing, and then eventually the office was finished. And now I absolutely love it. I don't feel overwhelmed about it. Is it perfect? No. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have like done a different frame here, or I should have gotten a different rug there. It's not the end of the world. Those things can be changed and they are manageable when you just realize, okay, like if it's not going to be perfect, that's not a huge deal, but it's helping me still feel like I'm accomplishing something, and then I can move into making it exactly the way that I want it over time and let that be okay. All right, that wraps us up for today. I hope this video was helpful for you, especially if you're someone who struggles with procrastination. And I hope that it's also helped to readjust your mindset around procrastination and helping you understand that you can achieve things. You can go for big goals like achieving more in 12 weeks than most people do in 12 months. And it is possible for you and you deserve it. So thank you again for watching and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Affirmations with Amber.